Hi everybody, my name is Kathy Harris. I am out of Atlanta, Georgia, and I am so happy to be here today. I am currently traveling all over the country to 15 different states to educate people about self-sufficiency and basic survival skills. What I am doing is implementing a health and business initiative so people can understand that they have the power to empower themselves. Now, before we talk about why we're really here today, I want to tell you a little bit more about my tour. I want you to check out my website at kathyharrisspeaks.com. Today, again, I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Now, we're going to talk about what's going on with the J. Ashburn Junior Youth Center. As you know, we need to fund our own fight, and freedom is not free. So what we're trying to do today is have a community organizing think tank. Now, in this think tank, we're going to talk about some of the things we could do to organize in the community to help this youth center get out to a national and international level. We also want people to come in from other states and give their events. Give your events, your conferences, your symposiums, or whatever kind of events you're holding all over the country. We want you to come to this youth center in Columbus, Ohio, and give your events. Now, today we're talking to Keith Neal. He is the director of the Youth Center, and also Mike Rondo. He is one of the workers here, but he also grew up in the Youth Center, so they're both going to be talking to us about the Youth Center and some of the things that we could do today to really move the community forward. Keith, first of all, I am so happy to be here today.
Well, we're blessed, like I said, to have you here. It's an honor to have you here. And mainly it's an honor that those people of consciousness, those people like yourself, who sees the importance of J. Ashburn Youth Center. We celebrated our 50th year, October 6th, and 50 years of community service at the J. Ashburn Youth Center and the Oakley Baptist Church. So they're closely tied together. J. Ashburn Sr., he started the Oakley Baptist Church, and it started out on Oakley Avenue. And he had that spirit of community in him. He was one of the first black legislators in the state of Ohio. As a Republican, of course, blacks back then voted Republican like they vote Democrat now. But he was a community person, and the elders tell me, because I'm a firm believer in listening to the elders. They have so much knowledge and wisdom. And we've gotten away from that as a community, talking to our elders and picking their brains about the history, where they came from, where their parents came from. And the elders told me that he was the type of minister that would go out to the community and invite all the people in the neighborhood to come to his church. And he was well respected. We have a head bust here of him at the center. And that spirit of community he passed to his son. Now, Reverend Ashburn Sr., he served 38 years in the community. And he gave 38 years of his life. He passed the baton to his son, Jacob Ashburn. And his son started the J. Ashburn Youth Center out of the old Oakley Baptist Church. It's torn down now, but the Oakley Baptist Church is a legendary church, especially for basketball. It was one of the greatest places in this actually United States to play basketball. It was a small church gym, you know, guys talking trash at you, real physical game. And it was a mecca of basketball, and it was a mecca of young men and young ladies meeting and expressing their creativities at the old Ashburn/Oakley Baptist Church. Now, Reverend Ashburn, he had this dream of the center because there were some places on the hilltop that we weren't allowed to go because of racial lines that were drawn. If you went too far west, you'd get run home. Too far east, they'd run you home. Uncles, nephews, and everybody else. So the Oakley Baptist Church was a beacon for a lot of young people. It was a place that we could identify. It was our place. And we had a lot of role models in that area, in the community and at that church. Now, Reverend Ashburn served 28 years, and he passed away suddenly. And we didn't know that the center could carry on, but we had a person that sometimes is overlooked, is Miss Saunders, James Saunders. And she was a quiet, unassuming woman. And a lot of times we don't give our women credit for the things that they do. But Miss Saunders took the baton from Reverend Ashburn. She served 32 years in the community. Now, 32 years, she was in her 70s, still serving the community. And, you know, Miss Saunders was the type of person that you could go to and get parental advice. And she was a wise person that would give you the things that you needed to become a whole person. She was a social worker by trade. She came to help Reverend Ashburn for the first 6 months, supposedly. But like I said, she wound up staying here 32 years. And we worked in tandem for so many years. And she's one of my three mothers. And I was the pastor baton during that time period to carry this legacy on. And people don't know the importance of legacy. I often looked at history. I'm a history lover. And I looked at the ownership of black farms at one time. And we at one time owned 12% of the land in this country. Now we own less than 1%. So a people without a land is a slave. And we don't have food to grow, don't have land to grow crops for food on. So these type of centers are running up against cuts. You're running up against huge deficits. So we're trying to survive. We're asking people to come and listen, come and see the history of the true richness that we have in the area called the Hilltop here in Columbus, Ohio. This is my 36th year here at the J. Ashburn Youth Center. And Reverend Ashburn hired me in here as a janitor. I had came from Philadelphia working in my father's shop. Now my father, and I tell people this story, my father and other men like him had a 4th and 6th grade education. But they had more businesses in the community around Philadelphia than they have right now. We have more business graduates now than ever before, but we have less businesses. But these men, they had math, reading, writing, like geniuses. And they gave back to the community. They built up the community. And look what we have now. Our stores are owned by other people now. We have no bloodline to generate revenue back to our community. So therefore, we are people that are no longer needed, to be truthful with you. So here, what I've done, all praise due to the Creator, I've been able to put the history of the young man that's filming for us today, David Bailey. He's a product of the J. Ashburn Youth Center. He had a group at that time, New Step. And like he was just saying, we were talking, it was a real competitive, a great spirit, competitiveness in the community. One group would try to outdo the other, but wasn't no fighting, shooting, cussing, stabbing, and all those negativities. And basketball was the same way. Like I said, it was a legendary gym up there. If you could win 5, 6 games in a row, you had to be one of the top players in the country. So all those things lead us to now at the J. Ashburn Youth Center. We've had huge cuts, like I said, but that's everybody. Make no excuse for cuts. We've done more with less than anybody. We've learned how to do something for nothing or with nothing more than any people around.